and we're here today with Narendra, who is a spiritual master teacher and the founder of Spirituality for Results. Thank you for watching. So you've talked about the two paths, the path of love and the path of meditation to help us grow spiritually. And I was wondering, what are some things we can do when we're stuck, like say the path of meditation? It's so often the mind just is relentless and it gets on something that's bugging it and it just obsesses all day long. Or the path of the heart, you know, say you've got a conflict with someone and then it's like an obsession and you can't get past that gridlock of the thing that's bothering you. So what are some things we can do to break those barriers or those, you know, those strong points that we always seem to get stuck at when we're pursuing one of the paths or both?
Okay, very good. I think before we can get into the methodology, it's very important to understand how a human being is designed. And it becomes a little easier if we can kind of understand the functions of different parts. You know, like eyes can see and ears can hear. The problem starts when you're going to say, well, my finger is going to do everything. You know, it has a limited capability. And the problem starts when you try to see with your ear, with your finger, you know, or you try to communicate with your fingers in some cases. And typically in road rage situations, you know. So coming back to the human design, let's say, for sake of simplicity, we have a mind. Okay? Not to be confused with brain. Because brain is a biological part, like a muscle, okay, like bone structure. So brain is different. Mind is one part. And the other part, let's say, called heart. And heart, again, we are not talking about the organ. We are only talking about part of us that is able to feel things, feel the emotions. And it doesn't really matter where it lives. For what we are doing here, it doesn't matter. Let's say we subdivide those two areas. And let's try to understand the function. The function of mind is to think. It can analyze, it can do logical functions like comparisons, adding, subtracting, setting priorities, making decisions, etc. All the logical functions. But mind cannot feel. Okay? Now when you come to the heart side of us, it cannot do any of the functions of the mind. It cannot add and subtract and make decisions. It cannot. So heart part of us is more like a traffic light. Either says it's a red light, or it's a green light, or it's a yellow light. Green light means everything feels so good. Wonderful. And yellow means, well, I'm in between somewhere. Okay? And red means, oh my God, listen to me, all the problems I've had today. You know, you don't know the troubles I have seen. Like the old song, right? It is going through pain or sensing some very painful sensations. That's when it's in the red state. So, mind does the thinking, heart does the feeling. Within your physical body, if you look at the consciousness, the mind consciousness is here in this zone. Between your belly button and your heart, that's your mind, thinking portion. And then heart consciousness is between your heart and where your neck starts. That's your heart. So the issue here is that we have a human body, okay? And we have a human body, which is the lower centers. That's it. That are responsible for the consciousness of the physical body. Then you have a mind, and then you have a heart, right? Now, this side you have the spirit. This is the boundary. This side is spirit zone, the fourth dimension. Now, below this line is what you call the kingdom of heaven. Kingdom of his heaven is at hand. That's what Jesus said. You cross the boundary, you're south of the border, so to speak, or north of the border, now in Canada. If you imagine that Canada is heaven, right? You just cross the border, right? And this is the world itself. Now, we all have to live in this world. We are born here, we live here, and we cannot just live in a vacuum. I mean, when we are born in a family, we have parents, mother, father, brother, sister, neighbors. Same way as we grow up. So interaction with other human beings is part of living. The problem starts is that when you are interacting with other people, sometimes people could say unkind things to you, or they could manipulate you, or they could hurt your feeling, or they'll try to cheat you. Because world as a whole, it was never designed to be a kingdom of heaven to start with. It was a mixture of dark and light. And human beings were brought in there, and now each one has a choice. If everybody picks the good side, this becomes the kingdom of heaven. But if everybody picks up the dark side and start doing all destructive, negative things, then this place becomes hell. Really, self-destructive completely. But it's kind of a mixture right now. Minority has picked up the good side. Majority is still kind of on the border. Sometimes they pick good things, sometimes they pick bad things. The majority, you can say, are gray. Minority who are clear are white in that sense. White represents the goodness. So, in dealing with them, all of them are going to be different. So one of the things we have to learn is pay attention and to be able to tell good from bad in behavior. It's just like if you're going on the road, driving, you're supposed to keep eye on the road. There could be snow out there, there could be ice, or there could be a big puddle hole. Or maybe somebody else's car is stopped, or maybe there's somebody crossing the road. And at that point, you're supposed to take a defensive action. So our life is very much the same way. So whenever there is an issue, heart is always the first one to sense. Let's say somebody bothered you. You were at the party and somebody said something nasty to you in front of 10 of your best friends. Demeaned you or used a bad tone or spread a nasty rumor, then it's obviously it's going to hurt your feelings. So your heart will be the first one that will say, that doesn't feel good. It starts out like that, it doesn't feel good. Or sometimes it could be so bad, like, I am so shocked that he would do this to me, or she. It's still difference is only a degree of sensation, but heart senses it. Right?
Yes.
So it's a negative sensation because it hurts you. Now the question is, what do you do with it? You're not expected to do anything fancy. I mean, if you're driving your car and let's say your engine light, red light comes on, what do? You don't continue to drive, do you?
We try not to, yeah.
Yeah, but at the minimum you find the nearest exit and trying to find a car mechanic, right? Or stop it and make a phone call. Or call the tow truck, right?
Right.
But the human condition is very interesting. People are driving around with the red light in their heart for like decades and decades. They have problems with the in-laws, with the ex-husband, with the children or the friends. Somebody stabbed me in my back. Somebody took advantage of me. Somebody did this to me, that to me. And they go to If you really open the heart, you find huge cabinets and cabinets of unresolved issues.
Uh-huh.
That is what causes the problem. Because negative feelings are going to do you a lot of damage. You keep it inside.
Mm.
So the rule is, please, please don't keep it inside you more than 2 days. And if you're really good at it, turn it around within 24 hours. Don't lie to yourself. You say, if it bothers you, it's a problem. You don't need anybody's opinion. It bothers you, that's good enough. What you do, you take a simple thing like a yellow post-it sticker. In my opinion, this is probably one of the best inventions of 20th century. Better than computers. Better than cell phones. You know why? This can change your life. All you do is, as soon as something bothers you, write down draw a line and write down on the line. Be brief and very clear, put the person's name down. This person insulted me in front of my friends on that day. And then don't try to solve the problem. What you do is, right away, put it someplace and walk away. Make a place, either in your folder or an office table or a wall, where you collect these things. Because when you are getting that negative sensation, you are not a good frame of mind to solve the problem.
Okay.
All you do is make sure you accept it. Because heart is like a child. Heart is like your own child. You say, Mommy, we have a problem. And if you are a good mommy, you will hear it first time, okay baby, what is it? And you catch it and say, I got it. Don't worry. And if you do something about it, your child will learn that my mommy takes me seriously. Mm-hmm. Every time I say, she fixes the problem. Mm-hmm. But imagine a different scenario. They say, Mommy, we got a problem, we got a problem, what a problem, and you just don't do nothing about it. Mm-hmm. You neither acknowledge it, nor you do something. What do you think the child is learning for the long term?
That shouldn't care.
He's going to make more and more noise. He's probably going to start breaking things.
Or get bad
just to get your attention. Yeah.
Never.
People are walking around with this kind of relationship with their heart for decades again. That's why they get unhealthy. So step 1, put it on paper, acknowledge the problem, don't try to solve it. Because that instant you're saying, okay, dear heart, what is bothering you? Uh-huh. Talk to me. Mm-hmm. Mommy's here. Don't worry. I'll beat up his mother. You talk to me. Tell me what the issue is. And you be brief. Not long stories. You only got one line.
One line?
That's
Twitter,
it.
A Twitter line.
That's it. You got to be very brief to the point. And then you put it over there. Mm-hmm. Go for a walk, smell the flowers, go for a dance, do breathing exercises, do yoga, whatever gets you more relaxed. Later on when you're coming back, come back to the table or your folder or the wall and say, okay, now I'm calling a session together that we're going to solve the problems. Now at this point it's a business meeting because mind behaves more like an adult. Mm-hmm. At that point you have to tell your heart, if he says, Mommy is bothering you, no, you go outside and play. This is adults meeting. You had your chance, you told me what the problem is, I'm working on it. Uh-huh. Now we all act like adults and you invite your mind. Mr. Mind, come on over, I need you. We got a problem, we got to find a solution. And by the way, bring your computer with you. You know? Or a tablet, or don't forget the cell phone. And then you sit down, look at it as if it's somebody else's problem. If you have 3 more slips or problems, per day that bothers you, you say, ask yourself a simple question. If the same thing happened to somebody else, you have to do some play acting here.
Mm-hmm.
Become detached from the problem and say, well, imagine you are a judge and there is a jury watching this. If the same problem happened to somebody else, what would they do? An average person, average sane person.
Mm-hmm.
What step would they do to correct the situation? Well, we could call the person, okay, write it down. Or we could write him an email. Or this Saturday I'm going to talk to her brother. You know, maybe he can knock some sense into the other person. Would that do? Yes. Very good. You take this sticker and put it in your notebook where you do your daily tasks. You say, when are you going to do this today? When are you going to do this tomorrow? When are you going to do the third one? Saturday. How does your heart feel? Feel good, right?
Mm-hmm.
That something is being done. It will not bother you anymore. So in the similar way, we have to develop a methodology where we can acknowledge the problem in an honest way and find some professional way and a simple way to finding reasonable solutions. Reasonable solution now is, let's say somebody died. Let's say he got run over by a truck. So reasonable solution is, well, he should come back to life. That's not reasonable.
Right.
Reasonable is call his relatives. Call the police, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or find out how it happened. And then do take the next appropriate step.
Mm-hmm.
Now that this has happened, what can we do? That's the way we have to look at it. The focus should be on what action can be delivered. And our human psyche is such that if we are able to deliver action, find solutions, guess what? There's no pile of old problems. Your heart will be very peaceful. Because heart is like a child. He knows my mommy is very good. She finds solutions. Nobody's going to bother me. So you develop this, do it for 21 days, and it will change your life. Simple, very simple. That's one thing we can practice. It has really changed my life. It sounds very, very ridiculously simple, but it works.
Yeah, no, I can see how it would work. Now, is there ever circumstance where you've kind of come back and looked at it after you had some space and calmed down, and when you've switched the roles to what would a reasonable person think, and find that perhaps you were overreacting? Is there also a lot of times where you're actually growing as a person because you're going, maybe I'm the one who's overreacting all the time?
Yes, those things do happen, and the way to go around that is get some of your good friends involved in this, especially those who can give you objective and unbiased and a healthy advice. If like this happened, what do you think should be done? And that person becomes your resource. Because it takes each one of us different kind of time to be able to think objectively and like a normal person. Especially because if it's a personal issue that's bothering you. Because first thing, let's say if your mother-in-law insults you, most people say, I want to kill her. But that's not a reasonable solution, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to find something what a reasonable person will do, and within the law and within the code of some quality standards. And so it's better to at least in the beginning bounce it off some good friends. Well, this happened. What do you think I should do? It's not a good idea to go to people who are off balance and unobjective and unprofessional about these things. So that's one part. The second thing we can do is to do another play acting. For example, this is where your heart is. Let's try something very simple. Just take your right hand and say, this is where my heart is. Okay? And my heart, and move your hand about 6 inches away. You see, this is as far as my heart is going to go.
In terms of?
Without my permission. It's only allowed to go from here to there. It's just like how dogs are, you put them on the leash.
Uh-huh.
Then you make the size of leash in such a way that you don't let it run around the whole neighborhood. Because then you have a problem.
Like when you're in public or all the time? Or?
In dealing with difficult people or these kinds of situations, always keep your heart close to you within 6 inches. It's you can grow from here to there. That's it. Okay?
Kind of like playing poker? You mean like
No,
hiding it,
imagine
or?
there is a door here. Imagine there is a door here. It's just like when somebody rings your doorbell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for starters, you don't always leave your doors open, do you?
Right, yeah.
So this is door open completely.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
There are some people who are heart-centered people. They, by mistake, they are keeping their heart open to everybody.
Oh, like wearing their heart on their sleeve, kind of.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
and especially when they are very sensitive,
Uh-huh.
they are open to everybody and all kinds of crude people or negative people or manipulative people come into their life, and they throw their garbage into their space and go away. And these people left to suffer for weeks and weeks. So this is how you want to protect yourself.
Like a boundary.
My heart is not a parking spot.
So have good boundaries.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Please don't allow people to park their tractors and don't allow other people dogs to poop into your heart space. Because they'll just walk away. You'll have to clean it all up.
Yeah.
So imagine there's a door there. You say, okay, you can only go from here to there. But you cannot open the door.
Okay.
Mind is the one that can, if you take the other hand
Uh-huh.
and now go over this to the other side.
From here.
Yes. Mind can deal with this zone.
Okay. Oh, so that's kind of a distance.
If somebody is ringing the doorbell, mind can say, well, listen, let me see who that person is. Who are you? What do you want?
Uh-huh.
Can I see your ID? Give me a telephone number. Check him out real good. And that's just like peeping through that eye to see who's out there. You don't just say, somebody rings the doorbell, open the door, and say, oh, go into my bedroom and I'll see you there. You don't do that.
Yeah.
So your heart is like a bedroom. Not everybody is allowed.
Yeah.
Only well-tested, good, positive people are allowed. Only God, your spiritual master, and your best friends who will not hurt you or hurt your spirit are allowed. Everybody else, no.
At arm's length.
Either I send you out from outside, or I just say, okay, give me the paper, slip it under the paper, and go away. Or you open for a little bit, and you say, okay, and you do what you have to do, and that's it. Now, the idea is, mind can do that evaluation, heart cannot.
Mm.
So let mind ask all the questions before it is sure that it's a safe person to open door to. They say, when you are convinced, then you say to heart, oh, can you open the door a little bit? But you deal with that person in an administrative way. You don't open your heart to just any stranger. You only open your heart to people who are well tested, loving, positive, constructive people. And so practice. Close, open. Close, open. Close, open.
So there's a doorkeeper.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
a gatekeeper.
So mind and heart have to work together. Mind has to check out, why are you not doing your job? If you are opening your heart to everybody and getting hurt at the end, what does that mean? Mind is not doing his job.
Mm-hmm.
That is his job to go and ask the questions to find out if they're even a reasonable person.
Do the background check.
Safe person. Exactly. And if your mind is not doing that, then you should say to your mind, I will fire you next time. I'll get myself another mind.
Oh.
Because you're not doing the job for me. Your mind is your employee. And your heart is also your employee. And so third play you're going to do is, imagine you are here, above the head.
Uh-huh.
true self, your pure intelligence, your divine self is here.
Uh-huh.
And from here you're watching your body, top of your head. Oh, here's a body given to me. And here's a heart who works for me. And here's a mind who works for me. They're like two dogs, actually. So you have to train them like dogs.
Oh.
Stay, stay, stay. Open, close. Open, close.
Even the heart too needs to be
Both.
trained? I
Open,
can
close.
see the
Open,
mind, but
close. Open, close. Open,
heart
close.
too.
Open, close. Some people you don't want to open your hearts. It's a mistake to say that open your heart to everybody. A simple techniques like this will change your life forever, because now you have protected yourself from negative people. Our heart is not supposed to get involved with negative people at all, because they don't have enough sensitivity to be respectful of your heart. They'll keep making it dirty, leave grease spots, all kinds of crap they come out with, that they leave it there, and you'll be left to suffer. So we all need to do ourselves that favor, that only open to positive, constructive people, positive people. And that is the whole idea. So now you can protect yourself from mother-in-law if she's not very friendly. Or you can also protect yourself from some unfriendly neighbors. Because whenever somebody says something negative to you, it bounces off this wall. It doesn't affect you. And then you peek over the wall. I see that you're upset. How can I help you? Don't get emotionally involved.
Oh, don't take it personally.
Right.
Ruiz would say.
Interact with them in an administrative way, or in a robotic or mechanical way.
Mm-hmm.
Because heart space is like a wet towel. You throw in the dirt, dirt is going to stick to it.
Mm.
Whereas your mind space is like a dry towel. You throw it in dirt, shake it off, and nothing sticks to it.
Mm.
And that's the part we have to understand.
Mm.
So we have to protect ourselves, but at the same time, also be solving problems and moving on with the life. Because that's one of the things we all have to do. Identify problems, solve them. Now some people may look at it like, wait a minute, he's asking us to close hearts to people, but they tell us we're supposed to love everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be very clear. What love you're talking about is the unconditional love. That is the love that happens to you when you grow in the Spirit.
Uh-huh.
And when you grow in the Spirit zone, that unconditional love flows from you for everybody, and there is nothing you can do about it. I'm talking about many steps even before that. Because if you don't manage your heart and your emotions, and if you don't allow your mind and heart to kind of work with you for your benefit
Uh-huh.
and keep you healthy, you'll never make it there.
Okay.
So it's necessary. And what you'll find after 21 days, you'll find your mind becomes silent.
In 21 days?
Yes.
Whoa.
And your heart becomes cleaner, purer, peaceful, and is filled with positive things. Because now you have managed the pollution from coming into the heart.
That seems so easy.
It can be done. I'm the first guinea pig.
Wow.
It can be done.
Wow, this is great.
Everybody wish you well. It can be done. It's very simple, believe me. It can be done. All you have to do is for 21 days. And then you won't be able to stop it. Because it's a fact. If you do it, want to make a new habit,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to drop an old habit, do it for 21 days. It becomes a program in the back of your head, in your subconscious mind. Now you do things automatically. And I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.